Today I would like to share with you a section from my composition Mandala Mind. So I've translated it to the D kurd. So it looks like this. Right, you see how I'm switching roles here? So my right hand, this is what my right hand does. My left hand does this. So when I put those two things together, and add an extra little phrase at the end, then we have that whole section. So first things first, we need to learn the baseline rhythm. So starting with the left hand, we're playing note 2 and note 4. This is a B flat and a D in this case. And I'm rotating here between my thumb and my middle finger, and that's all it is. And we're playing like so. The counts for this, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and easy peasy. Again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and this is the easy bit. Practice that a few times so you feel comfortable. Same again with the right. Now we're going to play on note 1 and note 3, which is an A and a C in the case of the D kurd. And again, thumb, finger, thumb, finger, thumb, finger. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So if we then just switch between those two hands, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, switch, 1 and 3 and 4, switch, 1 and 2 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 and 3 and 4 and. This in itself is a really good exercise for practicing that wrist rotation, because all of the patterns that we're making on the handpan, it's really important that we have that rotation because it's such a circular instrument. We're moving in these circles, right? So what we want to avoid is this sound. Hear how it's still ringing, but I'm swishing, right? So when you strike down, though we are rotating like so, like the twisting of a doorknob, we're still isolating the thumb and then the finger so that we can get that bounce there. So we're avoiding that switch. Swish. So that's the first part. Pause the video, practice that until you feel really comfortable and fluid with both hands. And then the second half of this rhythm, we've got a nice polyrhythm type thing going on here. So now we're going to play right. So first with the right, and then with the left. Same two notes. I'm playing notes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 and 7. But we're moving across. So now we need to make sure that we're not engaging the shoulder too much here, that we are shifting our weight by using the torso to shift that arm so that we're not playing like this, right? It's hard to switch. Da 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 da. So it's got that like offbeat syncopated feel to it. When you put the two hands together, that 3 against 2 polyrhythm, otherwise known as nice cup of tea, nice cup of tea, nice cup. Or let's drink, right? Because it's not a true polyrhythm, because it doesn't just continue onwards and onwards. It still stays in this 4/4 feel. So we don't just keep going with the nice cup of tea. We have a little let's drink at the end there. I'll show you that again. Nice cup of tea, nice cup of tea, let's drink. So we've got together, left, right, left, together, left, right, left. And then a let's drink at the end. But because we're shifting this hand like so, where the pattern starts changes, right? So first it starts on this note, nice cup of tea, and then we're starting on this note, nice cup of tea, let's drink. Nice cup of tea, nice cup of tea, let's drink. If this is too much for you, I recommend going back and watching some videos on polyrhythm first, so you can really get that in your body. I've got a few of those. I'll link them in the description of the video, so that you can go master that and then come back to this, then you're ready to move it around, right? So there are two ways you can think about this. You can think about it as the blended polyrhythm. Nice cup of tea, nice cup of tea, let's drink. Nice cup of tea, nice cup of tea, let's drink. Or you can think about it as the two separate roles. You can tune into one of them. You can think, okay, I'm going to think about what my right hand is doing, while my left hand is just on autopilot. Once you've got that going really comfortable, you don't even have to think about it. And then you can focus on what this hand is doing. Or if you're not ready for that right-left separation, then you can think of it all as one amalgamation. Nice cup of tea, nice cup of tea, let's drink. Nice cup of tea, nice cup of tea, let's drink. Right? Two different ways that you can rationalize that, whatever works for you, either as the polyrhythm or as the autopilot, two roles happening at the same time. For me, I prefer the autopilot because then I kind of can have that switcheroo around and then shift the gears in my brain. So after one round of that phrase, nice cup of tea, let's drink, then we're shifting the roles. Then the right hand starts to play this pattern, and now the left is playing the slower pattern on the higher notes. Right? So again, make sure you practice those in isolation first, and then put the two together. It's got that lovely major feel. Nice cup of tea, let's drink. Nice cup of tea, let's drink. Nice cup of tea, let's drink. Once you can do both of those versions, then we do one after the other, like this. Nice cup of tea, nice cup of tea, here we go, nice. Switch. 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 Now to finish that little section off, again, same idea, the left hand is going to keep that bass going, and then instead of playing between these two notes, we're just going to go down the scale like this. And when we get to note 5 here, we play that twice. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 5. Again, and it's with the right hand. Finish that melody just on note 4 here on the D, on that home note with the left hand, because then the right hand, instead of playing here, is going to play here. And you might notice when I play that final bit, sounds a little bit familiar. Who plays that really famous polyrhythmic pattern? Hang massive, of course. Right? That you might be familiar with that already. So, put the whole thing together, it looks like this. Switch. Down the scale. Final note. And that's it. Here we go. Switch. Down the scale. Nice cup of tea, nice cup of tea, here we go. Nice cup of tea, nice cup of tea, let's drink. Nice cup of tea, nice cup of tea, down. Again. To Mandala Mind. I hope you enjoy. Once you get it, it's so satisfying being able to get that switching up of the hands, and just generally a really good skill to have. That's why I've chosen this particular section, because I think regardless of whether or not you enjoy that piece or that composition or this particular pattern, it's just a really good exercise as well. So enjoy, I hope, and yeah, share your videos with me. I'd love to see your versions of it on whatever scale you've got. It's a joy to see these pieces coming alive. So thank you so much. Hope to see you in another video. If this doesn't suit your fancy and you want another pattern to sink your teeth into, try this one next. I'll see you soon.